Fall in love with 251 exclusive offers on the Citroën range at Hugo Luna Motors today. Explore our impressive collection of Citroën cars and vans, where advanced comfort, style, safety and reliability all come together. Order your 251 today and take advantage of low-rate finance, a €500 deposit contribution and avail of a free home charger. Book your test drive today at hugolunamotors.ie. Citroën. For everyone, like no one.
Citroën. Health and Fitness with David Hollywood.
Well, hello again. Welcome to what is our final episode of Health and Fitness. Let's make it a good one. Very shortly, we look forward to a massive event coming up in Laois. The Live Well Health and Wellbeing Expo is on in just under 3 weeks' time. We have the Healthy Laois Coordinator, Emma O'Connor, and the Age Friendly Programme Manager, Tom Curran, on with all the details. Golf's most famous trophy has been in the Midlands this week. We sent our reporter Jack Irwin to Athlone Golf Club to seek out the Claret Jug and to report back on the changing face of the sport. And this evening we sign off on Health and Fitness by heading to Westmeath to find the pickleball capital of Ireland, Multifarnham. The Live Well Health and Wellbeing Expo is returning to Laois this year. It is the 23rd of April. It kicks off at 12:30 in the afternoon and runs until 6 o'clock that Wednesday evening. We are looking forward to it on Health and Fitness this evening, and to do that, I am joined by Emma O'Connor, who is the Healthy Laois Coordinator for Laois County Council. Emma, thanks for joining us on the programme.
Good evening, David. Thank you for having me.
And Tom Curran is the Age Friendly Programme Manager in Laois. He's in with us to talk about all the exhibitors and everything that's going on. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Good evening, David. Thanks for having us on.
Guys, this expo has gone from strength to strength. Emma, I'm going to ask you to give us a bit of a background because, literally there were thousands of people at it last year, and when we look at its lifespan, it's just a couple of years. Could you have ever have dreamed it would have taken so well amongst the population in the Amora County? I imagine you're looking forward to another successful year in a couple of weeks.
We are. We're hoping that we'll have even more there this year. I suppose this all started back in 2022 when Tom and I were doing consultations that were feeding into the Healthy Laois strategy and the Age Friendly strategy for Laois. And in spite of us doing two very different sets of consultations, the same message was coming through time and time again, that people were unable to access information and they didn't know things were on. They didn't know that certain things were happening at a particular time. They didn't know that certain services had supports for them. And I suppose really what it boiled down to was they weren't aware of certain services that were in our county. And if they were aware of them, they didn't know where to even start to go and talk to somebody about them or how to get signed up for it. So we kind of had a chat about it and we said, I wonder, would it be a great idea to have a whole load of service providers and information underneath one roof? And how many could we get in there, and would people come? We've a good support with our managers here in the Laois County Council, and they said, sure, look it, try it. It's very much, there's also good support from Healthy Ireland to try innovative projects as well. So we gave it a shot and we were delighted to have about 1,000 people in attendance the first year. So we decided, right, we're going to have to do this again. Last year we had about 2,000, and this year, I don't know. Hopefully, if we get another 2,000 or 3,000, we'll be absolutely delighted. But really, it's a social day where people have great fun and they enjoy it. It's not something where we preach to people and we say, you've got to go out for this walk, or you've got to do this, and you've got to eat like that. We focus on a lot of the determinants of health, and we try and put the information in front of people. They can pick it themselves, look at it themselves. And the whole thing is that we're trying to get them to, modify maybe little behaviours here and there that can help their health. But we're not there to preach. We're there to have a really good, fun day. And that's been the vibe of it, really, is that it's a good, fun, social day, but there is a serious aim behind it.
Tom, I'll turn to you next. In your responsibility as the Age Friendly Programme Manager in the county, from speaking to people working in the age-friendly outreach space, a lot of the programmes are brilliantly designed and but they get to a certain amount of people. This expo is a totally different kettle of fish in terms of the amount of people you can reach, the amount of people that you can try to help to age well. It's a very unique opportunity from an age-friendly perspective.
It's huge, and like I'm in the role since 2022, and as Emma said, doing the consultation, this is what we found, that people didn't know what was out there for them. So, not to repeat what we said, but when we had this event, it was all about getting the message across the 8 domains. And Age Friendly Ireland they're all about putting the themes of the World Health Organization in place to help you to age well. So one of the things with this is that we were the very funny thing with this was that when we had our launch in the first year, we didn't know what to expect. And in the launch in 2023, we had 50, 60 people at the launch. And normally these things are a small affair. There are 4 or 5 people in a photo launching an event. We had the launch and we knew we were on a good thing when you saw this level of support in the community. And we had the launch last Tuesday for this year's event. And again, we had 40, 50 exhibitors turned up just for the launch.
I'm looking at the picture for that, the launch, and it's as good as an expo itself. Like the unbelievable amount of exhibitors are going to be at this thing.
Yeah, and as I said, it just, the launch is kind of a microcosm of what the event is. The event is to have, as Emma said, to have information given to you, but to have it in an enjoyable way. And this year we've gone from, last year we had a lot of single speakers and some single talks. This year we're looking at panel discussions. Through our work with the Older People's Council here in Laois, one of the topics that we came across was around banking and decision support, and was if you had reduced capacity. And that's something that people mightn't think of, but when we sat down with 8 or 9 people the last day in our Older Persons Council, this is a real issue. So we respond to that and we say, well, look, this informs what we put on for the expo. And when you look at the numbers, from the 2016 census to the 2022 census, there was a 25% increase in people living in Laois over the age of 65. So it's to put everything in place and to try and embed age-friendly principles. I'm more focused on age-friendly. Emma is more overall, but together, we have so much common areas that this event is a natural for the two of us.
Yeah.
And we both get so much out of it as we hope the attendees do.
Yeah. I can only imagine they will do. Emma, talk us through some of the highlights from your perspective. Like Tom mentioned that the panel discussions will be able to explore stuff like banking for people in terms of ageing well. From a Healthy Laois perspective, as your role as the coordinator, what are you looking forward to seeing at the expo that you've been working on putting together?
We've got a couple of new areas in there that I'm kind of excited about. We have a creative area where we have 8 or 10 artists coming on board this year. Okay. And they're going to have a space set aside for themselves, and they'll be able to meet people. People can come in, sit down, chat to them. We're sort of learning more and more that creativity actually helps our well-being. You don't need to be Picasso to be able to do a really nice painting, or to sit down and make you chill and almost stop and calm down and shall we say change the CD that's going on in your busy brain. So they have various different mediums that they play around with, and they're going to show our attendees. I'm using that word play because this area is a creative play space, and we're trying to get that concept going in people's head. As adults, we've forgotten how to play, and some of the things that we do, our sports, it's playing, but also art is a form of playing. As are what I'm also bringing in there, we're having chess, and we are going to have some card games. And the idea is just to get people to have a little bit of downtime without even thinking they're having downtime. We have a library area as well that's going to be incorporated into the main expo area. And this is another one of these things we're trying, and hopefully it works. So it'll be a little pop between the library and the LOETB with some soft seating and some table and chairs, and you can come in and you can get yourself signed up for the library, or you can look at some of the assistive technologies that are there. But it's just a different little space within that busy hub that we're doing. We have an area outside that Laois Sports Partnership is very kindly, they're organising for us, and there's going to be ongoing games there. We have dancing at the very start of the day. We've got activator poles and chair Pilates, Go for Life games, all sorts going on out there. But I think for me, as the Healthy Ireland coordinator, I'm particularly interested in the quiet time, the 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. I love the vibrancy of this and the fun and the noise and the buzz that was there last year. And I want to try and get some of the groups that are out there to be able to bring people in for an hour, that even the carers can come around for an hour to an event that they may not even consider coming. So if somebody has somebody in the family with autism perhaps, or even an older person that doesn't want to face a large amount of people and they're a little bit unsure of their mobility, there's a whole range of abilities, shall we say, that people have in the community, and that quiet time is for them. And to manage it, we're asking that they would contact either Tom or myself, so that we're going to make sure that there is no big crowd in there, no big noise. And it also, even for somebody that may be immunocompromised, we're keeping the numbers down, and it'll be a calmer experience, but it'll also be a more spread out and more distance experience as well for anybody that just does not want a big buzzy crowd.
Great stuff.
And then if they want, they can have a cup of tea afterwards and stay for as long as they feel they want to. There's no set time that they have to go or anything like that, but it just does give them that space.
Great. Tom, as Emma was outlining there, the quiet time hour, like a really nice idea. The Expo's looking at being more inclusive this year, and from an age-friendly perspective, to be making these kinds of accommodations to trying to bring everyone on board. I imagine that's exactly in the spirit of what the remit and the kind of the mandate of your role is.
Yeah, we always go on the premise that everyone should be included and that no one is left behind. And by doing this, we've had calls already from people, not, people that you think of, the obvious ones, like people with a severe disability or someone with autism. We've had people who maybe have a slight mobility problem and who are coming out of surgery, or who don't feel confident to walk around, unaided, and they just need that little bit of help. So we've had calls already since we announced it to the quiet time, where people say, look, I'm on my own, feel awkward going in. And that's it. It's this thing where they mightn't have been at a big scale event and they want to go to it, but they're a little bit nervous. So by doing this quiet time, I've had one person say to me, I want to go for the hour and I'll see how I feel then. I might stay for the rest of it.
Tom, tell us how, if people listening particularly are interested in that quiet time. Emma said that they can get in touch with yourself or Emma. How did they do that? What's the email address?
The email is livewell@laoiscoco.ie. And again, if people aren't using email, the number for myself is 086 036 3426. So people can even drop a message or give a call. Because if someone's not comfortable with email or not used to be online, pick up the phone, give us a call.
Okay.
Or text.
Yeah, and also we'll trot those details out one more time before we finish up our chat this evening, and we are almost out of time. There's still loads of ground to cover. So, Emma, talk to us about getting there on the day. This event is taking place from 12:30 until 6 o'clock. A reminder that it's Wednesday, April 23rd. It's from 12:30 to 6 in the evening. And if there's thousands of people going, Portlaoise is busy enough as it is. So in terms of parking and all that type of thing, I imagine if public transport's an option or buses are an option, that could be a good solution in this respect.
We were absolutely delighted to have the new bus service in place. So we now have two routes that link in. In addition, Tom and the bus service providers have been wonderful at getting an extra route put on. So there actually will be an additional route on at the time that the event is just starting to kick off. And there's another additional bus put on in the afternoon as well. But essentially what we're doing is we have probably about 400 or 500 parking spaces between three car parks. So we're asking people where possible, get the train to Portlaoise, and there's a linking bus that'll bring you straight out, and you won't have the hassle of having the car, or get one of the buses. If you're coming from Portlaoise, you've got 2 town buses running around all day that'll bring you to the doorstep. And then we've also timed the event very carefully, that A lot of the buses that are coming from around the rural areas, you can actually link in with them and get in and out on those as well. So we'd say to people, if you can, come by train, come by bus. If you haven't used it before, try it. I had my mum on the train recently. She hasn't been on it for about 10 years, and she absolutely was blown away with the modern facilities that are there and the actual comfort that's there compared to what people may have remembered. And these buses are top spec. They are so comfortable. They're wonderful. So try it. Take it as a chance to try it.
My father got the free travel card in the last couple of years, and he does not stop going on about the train. He is honestly, there's a certain romance about the train as well, I think. And when you get to a phase in your life where you're using it for leisure rather than for work, you kind of redevelop your relationship with it in a lot of respects.
You get to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. You get to look out the window rather than think about where you have to go and what you have to do and so on and so forth. Look, there's so much going on April 23rd. I really recommend anyone listening, if they're even in the slightest bit interested, to get down, because there's no question with over 100 exhibitors, there's going to be something there for you. And Tom, I'll just get you to give us that number again. The email address is livewell@laoiscoco.ie. And then if anyone isn't up on emails and they maybe want to text or call, can you give us that number again?
It is 086 036 3426.
Yeah, the age-friendly programme manager in Laois, Tom Curran. And you've also been listening to Emma O'Connor, who's the Healthy Laois Coordinator for Laois County Council. Folks, you've been great with your time. I wish you the very best at the Expo. I'm going to get down to it if I can myself. Thanks for joining us on Health and Fitness this evening.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
The Open Championship is coming back to Ireland. The Claret Jug has been in the Midlands. We're heading to the Athlone Golf Club next.
Health and Fitness with David Hollywoods on Midlands 183.
Welcome back. The Open Championship returns to the scene of Shane Lowry's greatest triumph, Portrush Golf Club in County Antrim this year. To celebrate the return of golf's oldest major, the Claret Jug is on a tour of Ireland, and it landed in Athlone this week. Our reporter Jack Irwin was on the scene to see the most famous trophy in golf and to learn about the changing face of the sport. He starts off his report by talking to the newly installed president of Golf Ireland, Athlone Golf Club's very own Michael Evans.
Look, it's a very special occasion in a lot of ways for me as the newly inaugurated president of Golf Ireland last Saturday at our AGM, and also the fact that we're here with all of the club members and we have the Claret Jug doing its tour around the country as part of the promotion of the road to the Open. The Open this year is in Portrush in July, and last time the Open was in Portrush, it was of course won by Shane Lowry. So it's an exciting time for me personally, and also for Irish golf. This year is a huge year because we've got the Open this year in Portrush. We've got the Walker Cup in Lahinch next year, and the Ryder Cup in Adare Manor in 2027. So the future for the next few years for golf in the country is just mind-boggling.
Good to hear, Michael. And I know you're only in the role a few days pretty much, but what would your, I suppose, main targets be for the near future?
Sure. I mean, look, as part of Golf Ireland, I'm on the board, and we have a strategic plan, and the strategic plan is around, the pillars of the strategic plan are around participation, increasing inclusivity and diversity within the game, supporting our clubs, nurturing our talent, and bringing along and supporting our up and coming young professionals. So we lead people through the amateur ranks and we support them then when they become professionals. So as an example, we had a session yesterday evening with Paul McGinley, who is well known, Ryder Cup captain and European Tour winner. So he told us about his transition through the game, and we had a few of our leading new professionals who were amateurs last year and now professionals. So we brought them along, and they told us about their experience on tour, and the experience that they have is very different to the experience of a professional in some other countries, because they're not as well supported. So to go back to your original question, our objectives are to support clubs, support players, to nurture the game, and to increase participation as much as possible.
That's perfect, Michael. And then I suppose just a slightly longer term vision, I suppose, in just enabling clubs around Ireland, for, I suppose, long term sustainability.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're here this evening, and we've got a number of golf in the community officers with us, and the lads are. They go around schools and they encourage participation. You see the people out here this evening, and they're young people out pitching onto the greens, and they're enjoying golf in a fun way. Back in the day when I was a young person, you daren't go near the golf club because it was considered elitist and expensive. That's not the case anymore. Golf is affordable, and it is involving in the community. The community here in Athlone Golf Club is a fantastic community. The restaurant here has become a local eating house, and the participation then as a result of that, you have young people coming through whose parents have played golf, whose grandparents have played golf here, and now we have third and fourth generation coming through to enjoy the game. So that's our function. Our function is to try at a grassroots get people into playing the game again.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose you mentioned it there. I suppose from back in the day, obviously it mightn't have had many young people coming in playing the game. Like you said there, that's sort of the main goal and objective for the next while.
Completely. And I mean, we would encourage, for example, we've discounted rates for under 40s to come and play, and we can arrange. Back when I became a member of the club, long time ago, you had to write a cheque every January, and sometimes that cheque was hard to write because you didn't have enough money, or after Christmas or whatever it was. But nowadays, it's first of all, there's discounted rates to get younger people involved, and also you can pay your supplement by direct debit, so you now know how much it's going to cost you every month, and the game has changed. The whole attitude towards the game has changed. But it's become much more of a family event that you can bring your children out, you bring your grandchildren. I had my grandson here this evening for a photograph with the claret jug, and that's special. So a photograph with my son and my grandson. That photograph will be important to all of us in the years ahead. So it's a game for life. It's a game. It's also a game. I mean, there's an acronym for golf, which is a game of lasting friendships. And that would be my experience in the over 40 years I've been playing the game. I've made so many friends through the game, and if I would hope that people could have the same experience in golf as I've had, well, I think that'd be a great experience.
100%, Michael. And you mentioned it there, all the different people here at all different ages. I suppose one of the main benefits that golf brings is the whole community about it.
Completely. Golf clubs are all self-sustaining in that they fund themselves. We have staff. We have 3 or 4 staff here on the course, maintaining the greens and keeping the place in good shape. We have the restaurant. We have a great facility here, a restaurant. But that wouldn't happen unless there were a bunch of really solid members. So we've got in the order of about 700 members here in the club, and most of those members are active. They're out from starting at 8 years of age, going up all the way to 90 years of age. They're participating on a regular basis. You've seen people out there this evening that are well in their 80s, and there's people there that haven't even reached their teens yet. So it is a game for all ages. It's a game for all races. It's a game for all sexes. It's open and it's diverse, and it is a game, as I say, of lasting friendships.
After my chat with Michael, I caught up with Athlone Golf Club's men's captain Derek Kenna and women's captain Anne O'Sullivan to find out what's to look forward to around the club, and first to understand more about its golf course.
I suppose it's a parkland course. It was originally part of the Hudson Bay estate, so it's lots of trees. I suppose the courses around the coast would be links courses, so this is parkland, and it's a championship course. It was upgraded. Des Smith upgraded it, and the original course in Athlone was a garrison course, and it was in the batteries in Athlone. So that was a 9-hole course. And then it moved to Garnafaylia, moved across the bridge to Leinster, and it was another 9-hole course there. And in 1936, we moved out to Hudson Bay. So the original clubhouse was down near the Hudson Bay Hotel. And then in 1972, the present clubhouse was built. Noel Heavey, he was an architect in Athlone at the time, so he designed it.
Oh, very good, Anne. I suppose, Derek, looking ahead, I suppose, for the club over the next while, what events is going on around the club?
We're very fortunate in that we're hosting 2 All-Ireland championships this year. One for the ladies, one for men. They're both in September. It's the Pierce Purcell All-Ireland Championship and the ladies intermediate trophy, which is great honour for the club. So we'll have golfers from all parts of Ireland playing here competitively. We had a similar event last year, Junior Cup for both men and ladies. And we also have a Connacht Championship that's taking place, and it's very appropriate the year it's in it. It's called the Jack O'Sullivan Trophy. It's played for by men, and it's named after Anne's father, and that'll take place in September, October, I believe.
And finally, Honorary Secretary Paul Costello sat down with me to discuss the importance of the social side of the sport.
Paul, do you play yourself?
Yeah, I play probably too much, is what I've been told. So I probably play about average twice a week. So really like the game, and I'd say the handicap is going the wrong way, probably to do with the taking on the secretary's role this year.
Sure, yeah, it's a good excuse. I suppose, what would you say are the main benefits for playing, maybe health-wise, but also, I suppose, the social aspect of it?
The social aspect is the big side for me. We've so many social events here as a club. Only recently we had our captain's drive-in. We had a fun scramble, which was open to everybody to play in. So, that got people together playing. It was an open draw, so literally random as to who you were playing with. So that got people to play with people they wouldn't normally play with. But, I have a good range of friends that I've made through the golf club. And that leads to, a lot of discussions outside of the club and different things. So. Yeah. Definitely the social aspect is the big side for me. I think, as we go through the summer and we kick into some of our Friday fun scrambles. So again, that's an opportunity for people to rock up, head out for about 12 holes of golf, and more about the social aspect afterwards. And normally we'd have our prize giving nights coincide with that. So again, that gets people out, meeting our sponsors, which are a big part of the club as well.
Jack Irwin at Athlone Golf Club there. Our final piece on the programme is all about a Westmeath town and the fastest growing sport in the world.
The French know luxury. Discover the all-new 251 DS automobiles range at Hugo Luna Motors. Experience pure driving pleasure with DS Automobiles, the French luxury car company. DS's premium range stands out through its charismatic style, interior refinement, sophisticated technology and first-class comfort. Book your test drive today and discover the magic of DS Automobiles at hugolunamotors.ie.
Health and Fitness with David Hollywoods on Midlands 1A3.
Next on Health and Fitness this evening, we're turning our attention to the world of pickleball. It's a story that we've actually covered before on the programme, and we've actually covered the Multifarnham pickleball pursuit in previous episodes. Recently, I was as far as Templeogue in Dublin in Bushy Park, and amongst the skate parks, the tennis courts were these brand new pickleball courts, and they were by far the most used and the most popular, and it ties in with this storyline that's been developing over the last number of years, that it is the fastest growing sport globally. I'm very, very glad to welcome from Multifarnham Pickleball, Cassandra Mooney and Kieran Lambert. Guys, you're both very welcome onto the programme.
Cheers, David. Thank you.
I was also browsing Facebook recently, and I saw some posts put up in relation to Multifarnham Pickleball Club being at the Connacht Open. Kieran, were you playing at this?
I was, yeah, David, yeah. So I played in what they call the level 3.5 below, and so myself and my partner Ross Coyle there managed to get a gold medal in that. So we done extremely well in it.
Good man. And how did you end up playing pickleball?
How did I play pickleball? By accident, actually. So it was my son who was actually playing table tennis in Milltown. And somebody there said to me that I should try the pickleball. So that's where I started there. And then I found the Multifarnham club then as well. So I went over there, and so they do 3 days a week there as well. So it was more competitive there as well. And Cassandra here put me through my paces there as well, and lots of training with me and stuff like that. So so they make me work hard at it over there. So they do, yeah.
Fair play.
So it's sort of by accident how I fell into it more so.
Yeah, well, look, I think that might be a story that's kind of similar across the board for a lot of people, and we'll dig into like what the atmosphere is like at these Open Championships in a while. You mentioned Cassandra. Cassandra, I want to turn to you, and you might be able to give us a bit of background on how pickleball became such a fixture in Multifarnham, because it's really seemed to have set in culturally in the society almost.
Yeah, so pickleball came to Multifarnham in 2012. We're actually the oldest and longest running club in the country. And it began back then with an active retirement group and 1 day a week. And I suppose since that, it's just become so popular. We've built, literally, like you said, a community behind pickleball. So people come in all levels, all abilities, and they just kind of become addicted to it, I suppose. So,
what do you think it is about it that's so... It works for every generation. It seems to attract everyone from every type of culture around the world, as opposed to just here in the Midlands, for instance. It's universally enjoyable, it seems.
Yeah, so I suppose it's the setup of the game. The way it's created, like you said, allows different ages, different abilities to all come together, be able to play not just in their own level or age group, but amongst each other as well. So, I mean, our members range in age from 8 to 84, and they can all play on the one court. So it's, I suppose, the diversity of it makes it quite attractive. Now
it is. It borrows certain elements of something like tennis. Let's say you've got a racket and a ball, but beyond, and a net and a court. But beyond that, it is very different in a lot of respects. Like, you guys have brought the paddles in as well. The ball and the paddles, like the paddles themselves, I'm right in saying that these they're perforated. Are they? No. Okay, you're giving me one here now.
Yeah,
okay,
there you go.
Good stuff.
The ball is perforated.
The ball is perforated.
Yeah.
That's already satisfying. I think I might hang on to these. Raw carbon fibre, it says on it. Is that the case? So how much would a paddle like this cost?
Oh, God.
That's a nice one.
This paddle you're playing with at the minute is actually the only Irish-made paddle that we have.
No way.
Yeah, so it's based in Limerick. It's RDR Sports based in Limerick. And this is the only USAPA-approved Irish paddle.
Very cool.
So it's quite a cool one. But yeah, carbon fibre is the most common paddle nowadays. Like, they started out with wooden paddles way back when, but it's become carbon fibre as the main material now.
I guess when it gets more popular, this stuff becomes an arms race as well, with brands and all that type of thing. Yeah. I presume the tech in these has gone up as time's gone on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even in the years that I've been playing, the paddles have made such a difference and have changed so much. Like, when I started out first, I mean, the paddles, like, you couldn't do very much with them, whereas now, like, the game is completely different. It's much faster and more competitive.
Okay, so with, say, for instance, the development of the paddle, you therefore have more control over the kind of shots you can play, is that right?
Yeah, so I suppose they've introduced many different types of paddles now. So you have, like this RDR one here, you've got a mix of control and power in the paddle. Some vary more toward power, some more toward control. So it depends on like that, the paddle, the brand, etc.
The player.
Yeah, a little bit about the player too. Yeah.
What's your preference?
It helps. It helps you with it.
I actually play with the Standout CF3.
Yeah.
Which is a power paddle, but has a nice touch of control to it. So it helps me out a little bit.
From what I've observed, Kieran, there's a lovely spirit around the sport, and people play in a sporting way. How competitive do things get on the court, though, when it comes to these competitions?
It's hot and heavy out there, so it does. Even in training, it gets hot and heavy, so it does. Yeah. There's no mercy with it. Let's put it that way. Yeah,
it's adversarial, I suppose. You know, you've got your opponent in front of you, and you're trying to beat each other, so that's natural.
Yeah, and it's a lot of a mental game too with it, of holding your composure and patience with it and not risking anything too soon with it, because if you risk something too soon, then you just get punished with it, you know, and they don't hold back in you, so they don't.
And Kieran, when you're talking about being patient, that's a case of not trying to go for a winning shot too soon.
So we call it like dinking. So it's just dinking over the net, getting the ball just barely over the net when you're up close to the net.
Yeah.
And so we just try and dink it over and not hit the ball too high, because if you hit the ball too high to your opponent, then they'll just smash it straight back in at you.
So this sounds not dissimilar, Cassandra, to the premise of badminton, the way the shuttlecock just floats over the net, or at the right time and moment, you go for the winning shot.
Yeah. Okay. So, pickleball was designed with elements, like you said, of multiple different sports, badminton being one of them. I suppose the biggest difference, or the biggest similarity, I suppose, is we actually use a badminton court. But the biggest difference is, unlike badminton, we kind of play at the very front or the back of the court. We don't tend to float about in the middle.
Okay.
Where in badminton, you'd spend a lot more time maybe mid-court. But like Kieran said there, we spend a lot of our time almost where the service line is in badminton, which would be the main place we'd play pickleball.
Yeah. And Cassandra, have you been playing since the sport came to Multifarnham? Yeah,
so I actually was there day one in 2012.
No way.
Yeah. Accidentally, I'd like to blame my mother for that one.
Because I hear your mother was instrumental in delivering the sport to the Midlands.
She was, yeah. She, along with the Active Retirement Group in Multifarnham, they did the 6-week programme with Westmeath Sports at the time, and that kind of introduced it in the area. But I was there in the very beginning, but I suppose I only properly been playing kind of post-COVID. You know, I did my travels and things like that in between. So,
and what do you get out of it? Like, what's the joy of pickleball from your own personal perspective?
I suppose I have a couple of different ones, but like, I love the game. I love the community behind the game. Like the fact that no matter where you go, Ireland or abroad, that you walk into a room full of people and you're all meeting friends, you're catching up with people. Okay, yes, you go out on the court and you have to be serious and play against one another, but there's a fabulous social side to it. And then for me, I love the travel side of it as well. I get the opportunity to go to many different countries, and I love being able to travel around and, you know, experience different places as part of the sport.
Same question to you, Kieran. What you get out of it personally, what keeps you coming back to the sport on a weekly basis?
Oh, what keeps me coming back? I just love it too. It's there's so much to learn in it, I think, because I've got through stages of it. Like, I'm only playing just over a year in it, and since I came to multi, I think right in getting a hang of the game, next thing Cassandra will say, right, now you need to be doing this wrong, you need to change this way and do this way to get up to the next level with it. So it's a constant learning curve with it for me. So there's always a challenge to it, and always something interesting at the next day going, or something wrong with what the way I play and have to change in that as well. So to be able to compete with some better players than with it as well. So yeah, it's always challenging for me.
Now, when we come back, we start talking about the health and the fitness benefits of pickleball.
Health and Fitness with David Hollywoods on Midlands 103.
Welcome back. When we left our chat with Cassandra Mooney and Kieran Lambert from Multifarnham Pickleball Club, we were chatting about the competition side of the game. But what about the physical side of the game? Do you have to be mega fit to play?
There aren't you don't have to have a major ability to play pickleball. You don't have to be majorly fit or anything like that. The way the sport is designed, and when you learn how to play, you are able to play in a way that maybe if you're not the fittest, you're not the fastest or anything like that, you can still have a brilliant game. You can still compete at a very high level. I mean, we have people playing who have issues with knees and things like that. No problem at all. They're still competing every weekend at competition. It's a sport that maybe, unlike something like tennis, where maybe you have to be able to cover a large amount of a court, in pickleball, you don't have that same kind of running up and down, things like that you'd have in other sports. So you have kind of the opportunity to play for longer and kind of later in life maybe than you would in other sports.
That's really interesting. Kieran, as someone who's relatively novice in the sport, what did you feel and learn along the way? What did you think was developing? It sounds like it's almost strategic and psychological, and that kind of a sharpness in the mind is the thing that really develops over the course of it.
I disagree with Cassandra here a little bit on the fitness level, because she runs rings around me in the court, and I've been a sweat going home and not able to walk when I get home. So
that means you're doing it right.
That's exactly, that's my own fault with it, you know. So like it's depends. Well, maybe since I started with it, like I was probably running a lot more and stuff because I wasn't playing great with it.
You're making up for the inaccuracy and so on,
and not put myself in a position where somebody's going to attack me and make me run for the ball, you know. So I said the mental game to it is probably more so than the physical game to it, but it is still quite physical in lots of ways too. But like for people, like Cassandra was saying, people starting off, anybody can start with it no matter what ability they are. It doesn't matter to them at all. Like, you know, you can come and play at any level you want with it, you know. So
great stuff.
I'm challenging myself to try and get better and more competitive with it, because that's the way the game is going now with it. So that's where I want to try and get there before I get too old for it, you know. So
and to be part of the club, to be socialising, to be exercising, what are the feelings like after an evening of playing pickleball?
Sure, like your mental health with, you know, any sport, you know, any exercise like that. Like when I come home I'm either very happy with pickleball the way I played, or I'm very unhappy with it. So depending on how the games went for me, you know. So but you feel great after it. You know, like I do it 3 days a week, so I do it every Tuesday, Thursday evening, and then a Saturday morning as well. You know, so and then if there's little competitions on and stuff like that, then you could be gone of a Sunday then as well with it. You know, so so. There's no time to rest with it, you know, so it's great. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
I occasionally go down the country for competitions in athletics with the Tullamore Harriers, and the atmosphere amongst your fellow club members when you're on the way down to a competition, it's kind of special. Like, you know, you're all on the road, you're out for the day, this type of thing. Is that a similar vibe, for instance, at the Connacht Open you're at, and forthcoming championships you're looking forward to?
Like
that
the Connacht
kind of thing.
How many of us went down to the Connacht?
10 of us went.
10 of us went. So 10 of us from Multifarnham Club down at the Connacht Open, you know. So
brilliant.
It's great to see, like, because people are in different categories. So I was able to play my games, other people can watch me, then I can stay and watch them play as well, you know. So it's great to see the other players play and do well in it too. So it's fantastic camaraderie with it.
And Cassandra, you mentioned that you're lucky enough to have gone to different countries playing the game. Talk us through the kind of competitions you've been involved in, and what it's like to be playing presumably at a reasonably high level then.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been seriously lucky to be able to go. Play in quite a few different countries, mainly say Germany, Sweden, Holland, and of course then England is one of my main places to go and play cheer. Okay. But to be able to go to something, say like every year we go to the English Open, and it's the largest tournament this side of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And it has like thousands of players and 40 courts going. It's
oh my God.
It's another world completely. And to be able to go and be a part of that and actually compete and have a possibility of being in there with the best is amazing. Like, so.
And when we're talking about the best, just like how good is the best when it comes to this game?
Well, I mean, the likes of a lot of the players, not so much in Ireland just yet because we're still growing, but a lot of the players in the UK and like America, it's a professional sport now. So this is their daily job, you know, to play the sport. And we are not far off that here in Ireland as well. Like, we have players that are sponsored by paddle companies and that are growing very quickly.
It really, it's mind-blowing how quickly, like, if someone said pickleball pre-2012 in this country, what are you talking about? And in the guts of a decade, players are being sponsored. I've seen Formula One drivers playing padel. It's just exploded across the globe. I've never seen anything like it. Like, it really is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's insane. Like, to see, like you say, the growth. Like, it's got into so many different areas. Even former professional tennis players, like they did the $1 million match there, and Agassi and those played in that match, and it was insane to think that these people are now playing pickleball. It's become that normal that you can turn around to your neighbour now and go, I'm going to pickleball tonight, and people are going, yeah, I know what that is. You know?
Yeah, it was like when I started first, people say I'm playing pickleball and they go, what is pickleball? But now I find when you say I'm playing pickleball, oh, I've heard about that and I've seen it, like, you know, so it is just mushrooming out like it's so fast how it's grown.
The courts are propping up everywhere as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's so easy to set up. Like, it's a badminton size court. Like, most halls in the country already have a badminton court. So all you need is a paddle and a ball, you're ready to play, you know. Like, there are courts or even clubs opening weekly at this point, if not more. It's growing now that in the next couple of years, like, I can't even imagine how big it's going to be.
Well, look, that brings me on to one of my final questions is about Multifarnham Pickleball Club. You guys obviously have got a great heritage in something that's so new, which is a remarkable contradiction, but it's true. Are you happy to accept and invite new members to the club as well?
Yeah, so at any point, anyone can come along and give it a go. Like, they can find us on Facebook. All of our times and details and everything are there. They can just give us a shout or come down to any of the sessions. There's always someone there to take you through how to play, get you started, and all the equipment and everything is already provided for you. So
that sounds pretty good. And a ringing endorsement, Kieran, from yourself as a recent newly formed advocate of the sport. You'd welcome anyone listening to pick up a what is it, a racket?
A paddle.
A paddle, sorry. Yeah. My ignorance.
That's all right.
Pick up a paddle and give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you want to get out and do something as often as you want to, whatever level you're at, you can come and do it. Anybody, even yourself, could do it. You would manage it, you know. So,
don't be so.
There's a challenge for you now. Come on, there's a challenge.
Yeah, 100%. Look, maybe we could bring health and fitness out to Multifarnham at some point, and you can teach me a thing or two. Yeah. Looking towards the immediate future or the calendar generally, competition-wise, what's coming up that there might be Multifarnham players at?
I suppose the next big one is the Leinster Open now, the weekend after next in Dublin.
Okay.
And then, like myself, I'm heading to Portugal then for a league starting in May.
That's an international, or that's like a European league, or
it's a Portuguese league. Actually.
Portuguese league. Wow.
Yeah,
so
something.
And it's open to people to come in from wherever?
Wherever, yeah.
She's team captain, by the way.
Team captain. Yeah, you're right. I don't think she was going to say that.
No, she wasn't. I knew she wasn't. That's why I said I'd throw it in there.
Leading the team. And are you leading a Multifarnham team or an Irish team or what?
No, actually, they're players from all over Europe. So some are Portuguese. There are a couple of Irish on the team and a few from other countries as well.
Kieran, just how good is Cassandra at this game?
No, she's pretty good at it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because no, she is like yeah. She's top class at it. Yeah.
Well, we've managed to redden her cheeks. So.
Thanks, guys.
Not at all.
If I beat her next day, I'll let you know. Though I'll text you before.
100%.
Yeah, I'll let you know that just in case.
You can teach me the secret or two, so I don't disgrace myself if I do turn up to Multifarnham. So every success I wish you in terms of the Leinster Open, in terms of heading to Portugal for the league contest and everything in the future with the club and the sport. Kieran Lambert and Cassandra Mooney from Multifarnham Pickleball Club, thanks for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.
That's it for Health and Fitness. That was our last episode. Thank you so much for joining me over the last couple of years. It's been a genuine privilege to present the show for you. Jack Irwin and I will be back with a brand new programme next week. We'll be looking forward to the biggest match of every weekend on a Friday evening. Until then, take care of yourself. Country Roads is up next, and I'll talk to you soon.